discovered how a new cleaning lady helped hidden 6-year-old twins reveal their amazing voices. In a cozy, cluttered living room of a small suburban home in Ohio, the laughter of children playing in the street often mingled with the sounds of longing. There lived Sarah, a single mom juggling her job at the local grocery store and the dreams she held dear for her shy twins, Mia and Max. Their little faces rarely glanced up for the attention they craved amidst the noise. But within those four walls lives a hidden treasure, their brilliant voices waiting to break free like sunshine after a storm. Every day, while Sarah rang up groceries, Mia and Max found solace in their pajama-clad music sessions. Together, they sang duets, lost in soft melodies that contrasted the harsh reality outside. Their voices, like whispers, trembled under the fear of judgment, the fear of standing out. They longed to be heard but hid in the shadows, yearning to belong. Then, everything changed the day Rosa entered their lives. Recently laid off from her corporate job, Rosa carried a warmth that felt like a blanket in the winter chill. Her laughter overflowed the moment she stepped through the front door, electrifying the atmosphere. It was contagious, spinning around the room and lifting the twins' spirits. Her unwavering belief in their voices ignited sparks of courage where fear had once reigned. "Sing for me," she exclaimed, her eyes twinkling like stars. The twins exchanged hesitant glances, the weight of expectation heavy in the air. But Rosa's encouragement was relentless. As she dusted the shelves, she'd break into song, inviting them to join in. Slowly, Mia and Max began to emerge from their shells, laughter bubbling like fizzing soda as they reveled in music, even forgetting the noise outside. Before we continue, I need to let you know about something important that's happening. YouTube has been making changes to the system, and many people are losing notifications from channels they follow. If you're enjoying the content, hit that bell and mark all notifications so you don't miss the next videos. And if you can drop a like, it really helps me with reach. Seriously, it makes a difference. Oh, let me know in the comments where you're watching from. I'm always curious to know who's on the other side of the screen. Now let's continue. But just as their confidence began to blossom, the impending talent show loomed over them like a thunderstorm. An accidental misunderstanding between Sarah and her little singers sent shock waves of doubt rippling through their hopes. The twins, feeling isolated again, huddled together as sobs quietly echoed in the dim corners of their home. They questioned their value, their worth, everything tangled like a ball of yarn. Rosa, witnessing the bittersweet turmoil, stepped up again like a lighthouse in a fog. "You have something beautiful to share with the world," she said, kneeling to meet their eyes, soft yet strong. "Don't let fear snuff out your light." Her words lighted a flicker of resilience in Mia and Max's hearts. They needed to believe, needed to embrace their uniqueness. As Rosa prepared them for the show, the atmosphere intensified. Hope mingled with an edge of uncertainty, swirling around them like a tempest. The stage awaited, and Mia and Max stood at the brink of their greatest moment, yet hearts racing, palms sweating, caught between fear and freedom. Could they find their voices, together, against all odds? Or would they retreat back into silence, forever hidden in the shadows? The morning of the talent show dawned brighter than any other day. Sunlight streamed through the windows, casting warm patches across the living room, where Mia and Max fidgeted with anticipation. The air buzzed with a mix of excitement and nerves. Sarah brewed coffee, her hands trembling ever so slightly as she prepared breakfast. "You guys ready?" she called, glancing back over her shoulder, trying to mask her own anxiousness with a smile. Mia and Max exchanged glances, their eyes wide. "I think so," Max mumbled, a mix of hope and trepidation in his voice. "We have to do this," Mia chimed in, her little fists clenched to her sides. "Rosa believes in us." "That's right," Sarah said, her voice ringing with encouragement. "Remember, it's not about winning. It's about sharing your beautiful voices." They donned their matching outfits, a deep blue that mirrored the summer sky, and stood before the mirror, practicing their best smiles. With each practice, their individual fears began to fade, replaced by camaraderie and a shared dream. They were in this together, after all. As they entered the community center, the atmosphere thickened with the hum of other performers rehearsing. The chatter of excited parents filled the air, and the colorful decorations made everything seem magical. Yet as they clutched each other's hands tighter, the familiar ghost of doubt crept in. What if we mess up? Max bit his lip, anxiety painting his face. But what if we don't? Mia countered, her voice trembling with determination. We promised Rosa we'd give it our all. Just then, Rosa appeared, a beacon in the bustling crowd. Her presence was like a gentle breeze that brushed away the heavy cloud of doubt that hung over the twins. You're going to shine on that stage, she said, kneeling beside them. Just think about the fun you'll have up there. Fun, Max echoed, twisting a lock of hair. Exactly, Rosa beamed. And remember, the crowd wants to cheer for you. They want to hear your music, just like I do. Sarah watched from the sidelines. Her heart swelled with pride, but also with concern. She wanted the twins to embrace this moment, to find their joy, but she worried how they would handle any bumps along the way. What if they stumbled? What if they got stage fright? As the announcement came for the next performers, Mia and Max huddled together, whispering their favorite lines from the song they had practiced. 1, 2, 3, go. When it was finally their turn, they stood backstage facing the bright spotlight. The audience's chatter faded to silence, and the cosmos shrank to just the two of them. Together, Mia whispered. Together, Max agreed, squeezing her hand. As they stepped into the light, doubt suddenly twinkled like stars against the blanket of their fears. Their voices emerged, trembling at first, then blossoming into harmonies that filled the room pure and hopeful, a gift shared between them. But in the midst of their song, something unexpected stirred in the crowd. A chill ran through the audience, and gasps echoed as Mia's and Max's voices reached a soaring note. What would happen if the magic of their moment unraveled? What would they feel if the response from the crowd was not what they hoped for? They stood at the crossroads of dreams and realities, courage fighting against the whispers of doubt. Would this be their moment of triumph, or would it become another fading melody in a world too loud for them? And as the last note hung in the air, the twins watched the audience, transparent breaths dancing before them, waiting for the reaction that would echo in their hearts forever. The final note lingered for a heartbeat that stretched into eternity. As the sound faded, Mia and Max stood frozen, a hushed silence wrapping around them like a thick fog. For what felt like an eternity, their hearts raced, echoing in the space between them and the crowd. They could barely hear the first tentative clap, but as it grew into a thunderous applause, a wave of relief washed over them. Mia's eyes sparkled with astonishment as she glanced at Max. Did they like it? She asked softly, her voice nearly lost in the clamor of cheers. Max blinked, still processing the sea of faces. I think so, he exclaimed, a grin breaking across his face. But beneath that joy, nervous whispers crept back in. What if the applause was fleeting? What if after this moment, they never found that magic again? Suddenly, the spotlight's warmth felt intense, almost pressing. Each clap, each cheer seemed to dig deeper into their hearts, fueling their fears. Rosa's encouraging words echoed back in their minds. Just think about the fun you'll have up there. They faced the audience, their newfound courage mingling with uncertainty. The moment stretched, but it wasn't just fear that made their hearts race. It was also a flicker of exhilaration. With a shared glance, they stepped forward, grinning, bowing in unison. As they retreated from the stage, their hands found each other again, gripping tightly as if to ensure they wouldn't get lost in the fading magic as they exited backstage. Their sides tingled with adrenaline. Bursting into fits of giggles, they twirled away from the stage entrance, lost in their victorious bubble. Suddenly, a figure approached them, an older woman with sweeping gray hair and a warm smile. It was Mrs. Jenkins, the community center's manager. You two were simply breathtaking, she praised, clapping her hands. You have such incredible voices. I could feel the emotion in every note. Thanks, Mrs. Jenkins. Mia beamed, her cheeks flushed pink. Max, still caught in a whirlwind of exhilaration, found his confidence. Did you really like it? We thought we might mess up. Mess up? Not a chance. You were perfect, Mrs. Jenkins insisted, her tone gently emphatic. You both stole the show. You know, you should perform more often. Just then, the thrill in the air changed. The chatter rose around them once more, filled with excitement and the promise of future performances. For the first time, Max glanced at Mia and felt that familiar sense of adventure bubbling to the surface. What if this was just the beginning? But before they could say anything, a dark shadow flickered through the crowd. It was a tall figure, wearing sunglasses even indoors, their expression inscrutable. Suddenly, the energy shifted again, a cloud drifting across their celebration. Out of the confusion, Sarah appeared, her eyes wide with elation and relief. "You did it. You were incredible," she cried out, gathering them both in a tight embrace. The twins clung to her as the world around them erupted in celebration. Yet, even with the warmth of family and friends, that shadow lingered, an unfamiliar chill against the backdrop of their triumph. "Who was that?" Max asked, his voice low and edged with curiosity. "I don't know, but they seemed intense," Mia added, her bubbly energy slowly retreating, suddenly replaced with a hint of unease as the applause continued. The twins exchanged a worried glance, an unspoken understanding passing between them. Behind the vibrant applause, there was something more. Something they didn't understand yet, but that tugged at their hearts. Would they have the strength to face whatever was coming their way? And what secrets were hidden beyond the applause? Mia couldn't shake the feeling of unease that crept over her as she and Max joined the jubilation that surrounded them. The afterglow of their performance was still pulsing in their veins, yet that shadowy figure loomed in her thoughts. Who were they? What did they want? "Let us head outside for a little," Max suggested, his voice steady, but his eyes darting back to the crowd. "I need to catch my breath." "Yeah, good idea," Mia agreed. They slipped through the side door, leaving the overwhelming noise of cheers behind. The night air was cool against their skin, a welcomed contrast to the heat of the stage lights. They found themselves in a small side alley, poorly lit but secluded. Mia leaned against the cool brick wall, trying to regain her composure. Max paced a little, his thoughts swirling. "I can't help but feel like something is off," he said, frustration evident in his tone. "Why did that person stare at us like that?" Mia exhaled deeply, trying to discern her own feelings. "It feels strange, almost like they were looking for something. Yeah, maybe this performance attracted attention we weren't ready for." He ran his fingers through his hair, glancing back toward the bright lights streaming from the community center, the sound of voices still echoing faintly. But then, another thought struck her. What if it's good attention? She pondered out loud. What if someone wants us to sing somewhere bigger? Max stopped pacing and looked at her, hesitant excitement creeping into his eyes. "Do you really think so?" "Why not?" she said, a smile breaking through the remnants of fear. "We could be lucky. This could mean we have a future in music." Just then, the door swung open, and Sarah stepped outside, pulling their thoughts back to reality. "There you are. I was looking for you." Her smile was bright, but quickly faded as she sensed their mood. "What's wrong? Did you see that person in the crowd?" Max asked, urgency sneaking into his tone. "I did," she admitted. "They looked intense, right?" Mia nodded, her heart still racing. "What do you think they wanted?" Before Sarah could respond, a faint sound reached their ears from inside. The exciting buzz of laughter, snippets of conversations, and a melody that pulled at Mia's heart. It was the band that often performed at the community center, echoing the hopes and dreams of everyone gathered inside. "Let us go back. We can't let some mysterious figure ruin our moment," Max suggested, the excitement of the performance calling to him. Mia's apprehension lingered but was overpowered by the infectious spirit of the night. "You're right. We did something amazing tonight." They turned back toward the door just as laughter erupted from inside, and the warmth washed over them. In that moment, she felt a flicker of hope. But beneath her heart's glee, worry clung to her like a shadow. As they walked back into the crowd, their hearts still buzzing, the figure reemerged in her mind. Maybe it wasn't just the performance that would shape their future. Days turned into weeks, and soon they were rehearsing with new energy, pushed forward by the thrill and anxiety of what lay ahead. The mysterious figure hovered over their thoughts, a potent reminder that even shadows could spark desire for something greater. But would they ever learn the truth about that shadow, and how would it change everything they were building together? As they stepped into the spotlight again, Mia wondered, could this be their moment to uncover what they were really meant for? The weeks passed in a blur of rehearsals, anticipation, and the occasional distraction of Mia's concern over the mysterious figure. They had decided to push the uncertainty aside, focusing instead on their music. With every note they belted out in practice, Mia felt an invigorating sense of purpose, but the shadow of doubt tightened its grip over Max. He would often glance toward the entrance, as if expecting the figure to emerge from the crowd again, searching for them. One evening, while they were deep into a song about hope and dreams, the rehearsal abruptly came to a halt. The sudden bang of the door startled everyone. A woman stood there, clearly flustered and out of breath. Her hair was pulled back into a messy bun, wisps escaping defiantly, framing a warm face that quickly transitioned from concern to a bright smile as the music faded. "Sorry to interrupt. Is this the right place for the community band practice?" she asked, scanning the room filled with musical instruments and weary, yet hopeful, faces. "Yeah, you found us," Max said, stepping forward. "We're just rehearsing for the upcoming talent show. Are you thinking of joining?" "I might, but I'm really just here to help out." She took a deep breath and introduced herself. "I'm Claire, the new cleaning lady. I recently moved here and thought this would be a great place to get involved." Max exchanged a quick glance with Mia. "You clean the community center?" he asked, curious. Claire nodded. "Yep, I figured I could help out, maybe hear some talent along the way." Mia felt a flicker of warmth. "Well, you're in luck. We could always use some extra ears. Or a little magic," Max added with a grin. Claire laughed. "Oh, I wouldn't call it that. Just a spirit of adventure." As they resumed practice, Claire found a seat at the back of the room, tapping her feet along to the rhythm. Mia could see the joy in her eyes. It struck her that sometimes it took someone unexpected to rejuvenate a space, even one as familiar as the community center. After an invigorating session filled with harmonies and laughter, Claire caught Mia's attention before she left. "I couldn't help but notice you both have something special. You should embrace it, you know. Sometimes the road to what you want is paved by the unknown." Mia pondered Claire's words. She felt a connection to the woman, as if she could sense her own dreams intertwined with Claire's encouragement. That night, as they packed up, Max turned to Mia, an uncertain expression painting his features. "Do you think it's weird to let someone like Claire in? I mean, what if she's just being nice? Maybe that's it. Or maybe she sees something in us we haven't even realized yet," Mia replied, pondering her own feelings. As they stepped outside, the night sky was a canvas sprinkled with stars. The air was thick with possibility, the echo of Claire's words lingering in their minds. But that wasn't the only thing that sent a shiver down Mia's spine. A flicker caught her attention. Beyond the streetlight's glow, she saw a familiar figure standing at the edge of the alley, watching. Max followed her gaze. "Is that?" "Yeah," Mia whispered, her heart thudding even louder than before. "It's them." Feeling a swell of resolve, she faced Max. "We need to get to the bottom of this. We have to know why they're here." With the figures still lingering in the shadows, Mia and Max exchanged determined nods, ready to uncover the truth that tied them to their unknown observer. But with that brink of excitement came questions. Who were they really? And what did they want from Mia and Max? As they took a step toward the figure, the evening air crackled with anticipation. The journey ahead promised revelations, but also dangers. What unfolds next could change everything they've fought for or shatter their dreams entirely. Mia's breath quickened as she took that first step toward the figure. Max followed closely behind, each cautious footfall betraying the tension building within him. As they approached, the streetlight cast a harsh white glow on the figure, revealing an unexpected sight. It was a boy, no older than 6, with wide, curious eyes and tousled hair that caught the wind. He stood clutching a tattered teddy bear, the kind that had seen better days. The remnants of a smile danced on his lips, but the nerves in his gaze hinted at uncertainty. "Hey there," Mia said gently, kneeling down to his level. "What are you doing out here all alone?" "I'm not alone," he stammered, glancing back toward the shadows. "They're watching." "Who's watching?" Max asked, peering behind the boy, half expecting to see someone lurking in the dark. But the alley was empty. "2 other kids. They told me to wait here," the boy explained, his voice quivering. "I wanted to hear you sing." Mia exchanged a surprised look with Max. It was one thing to feel like they had an audience, albeit a strange one, but an audience of children? It felt unreal. "Do you have a name?" Mia asked softly, trying to create a connection. "Eli," he replied, relaxing just a bit. "I really like music. It makes the all bad stuff go away." Max's heart ached at Eli's words. He wanted to reach out, to help this child who seemed burdened by worries far too heavy for his young shoulders. Well, Eli, Mia began, we'd love to sing for you. But first, can you tell us why you're waiting for your friends? They said they'd come back after the show in the big room. They don't want me to be scared. Scared? Max asked, concern flooding his voice. What did they mean? Before Eli could respond, a shadow flickered at the mouth of the alley. Mia felt a chill run down her spine. This was the familiar figure from before, now drawing closer, humanizing into a tall girl with sharp features and a guarded expression. She wore a hoodie that concealed her identity, but her eyes held a depth that screamed urgency. Lily. Eli's face brightened, spurring him into motion. He dashed toward her, dropping his bear. Mia and Max exchanged a look, sensing this could spell trouble or, perhaps, clarity. They took a tentative step forward, still wary yet intrigued. Eli, I told you not to come out, Lily exclaimed, her voice rising with panic. She kneeled beside him, quickly pulling him into a protective embrace. Then, her gaze shifted to Mia and Max. What are you doing here? We could ask you the same thing, Max replied, trying to keep his voice steady. Who are you? Just someone trying to keep him safe, Lily said, her tone softening a little. She didn't seem menacing, more like a protector. Mia felt a mix of compassion and curiosity. Is there something wrong? You don't have to be afraid of us. Lily hesitated but seemed to catch a glimpse of their sincerity. We've been hiding. Eli squeezed Lily's hand. From the mean people. What mean people? Mia pressed, her heart aching to dive deeper into their world. Before Lily could reply, the weight of secrets hung in the air, palpable and heavy. Eli's innocent voice broke through. Can you sing for us? It helps the fear go away. Mia looked at Max, the uncertainty stretching between them. They had come here seeking answers, yet felt compelled to comfort these two scared souls. For a moment, everything felt suspended, as if the night itself was holding its breath. Okay, Mia said finally, her heart racing with unexpected resolve. We'll sing for you. As the first notes left their lips, the melody wrapped around them, weaving a barrier of warmth against the outside world. But deep inside, a quiet storm of questions rumbled. What were they hiding from? And why did it feel like their song was, in a way, a plea for shared hope? The night would not be ending quietly. It had only just begun. Mia's voice filled the alley, notes tumbling like stars breaking through a night sky. They resonated softly against the cold brick walls, wrapping around Eli and Lily, bathing them in warmth. For that moment, Eli's anxiety seemed to melt away, his little head bobbing in tune. Lily, still protective, watched with cautious eyes. As the final notes of the song lingered in the air, a shy chuckle escaped Eli's lips. Wow, that was so pretty. His enthusiasm sparked something within Mia, like a light flickering back to life. Can we do it again? Eli asked, his face lighting up, the earlier shadows barely a memory. Of course. But first, can you tell us more about these mean people? Max asked gently, not wanting the moment to slip back into darkness. Lily frowned, scanning the alley, her instinct screaming to remain alert. It's not safe to talk here, she whispered. They could hear us. We find places to hide. Hide? Max echoed, confused. Who are you hiding from? Before Lily could answer, the clattering of garbage cans echoed behind them, followed by hurried steps. It sent chills spiraling down Mia's spine. Quick! In here! Lily yanked Eli's hand and darted toward a narrow passageway beside the alley. Max and Mia followed, squeezing into the tight space just as a group of figure-shrouded shapes passed by, their voices low and menacing. Heart pounding, Mia pressed against a frayed wall, barely breathing. She could hear the faint whispers and laughter of the figures outside, their words almost lost in the wind. Why are they after you? Mia whispered to Lily, her voice barely a tremor. They want to take Eli, Lily replied, her eyes flashing with urgency. They think kids like him should be used for something. Used for what? Max asked, the weight of fear settling heavily in his chest. I can't say, she stammered, but tears glimmered in her eyes, begging for understanding. Eli clasped his teddy bear tightly, looking up at them with wide eyes. They said I sing too loud. They don't want me to make noise. Mia's heart ached for Eli. But your voice is a gift, she reassured him, her hand reaching down to stroke his hair. Never let anyone take that away from you. Lily's gaze softened, and for an instant, a flicker of hope sparked in her expression. That's why I need to keep him safe. He can't be caught. If they find out he can sing, the looming threat of their predicament settled over them like a thick fog. But at that moment, Eli erupted into a soft giggle, breaking through the heaviness. Can you sing again? Please? His eyes sparkled with innocent pleading. Against the backdrop of fear, Mia and Max exchanged a silent agreement, heightened by the fragile nature of their refuge. All right, Mia said, her resolve hardening. This is for you, Eli. And they began to sing once more, the notes filled with the same warmth. And, to their surprise, the cramped space around them felt lighter. Lily hummed softly, complementing their melody. The sound of their united voices echoed off the walls, drowning out the fear and the shadows that lurked just beyond their safe haven. As the last line faded, the space around them pulsed with energy, fragile yet invigorating. Eli's face was lit with joy, and in that moment, they created a bond forged in music and hope. But as they prepared to leave the passage, Mia caught a glimpse of a figure lurking at the end of the alleyway. The shadows seemed alive, dancing ominously. Who are they? Eli asked, his voice a mere whisper. Mia's heart raced. We'll find out, but we need to stick together. Lily squeezed Eli's hand tighter, determination glimmering in her eyes. We can't let them control us. But the reality loomed larger than ever. Now, it was not just about keeping Eli safe. It was about standing against something much bigger. They stepped into the alley, ready to confront whatever shadows awaited them. But what they didn't know was that discovering the truth might come at a cost they weren't ready to pay. The tension hung like the fog in the alley, thick and unforgiving. Mia's heart pounded as she stepped forward, Eli and Lily clinging to her sides. The figure at the end of the alley remained shrouded in darkness, an echo of the fears that haunted them. Stay close, Mia whispered, her voice steadying against the rising tide of uncertainty. The shadows shifted, revealing a boy, older than Eli but not by much. His clothes were tattered, and his deep-set eyes shone with an alertness that suggested he knew exactly what lurked in the corners of this world. Are you guys hiding too? He asked, his voice low but inviting. Max exchanged a glance with Mia, sensing a flicker of hope. From them, he replied cautiously, gesturing vaguely to the shadows behind them. Who are you? I'm Finn, the boy said, glancing behind him nervously. And I'm not just hiding. I'm looking for people like you. We need to stick together, or they'll get us all. Eli's grip tightened around his teddy bear, anxiety spreading across his face. Who will get us? The people who think kids like you are special, Finn said, his words heavy with a mix of dread and urgency. If they hear you sing, they'll come after you. They want to control those voices, use them. Mia's mind raced. Was Eli truly in danger just because he had a beautiful voice? Why would they want that? She asked Finn, needing to know the deeper truth. Because singing gives strength, Finn explained, his voice barely above a whisper. They want to use that strength. To control us, to keep us quiet. They think silence is safety. Lily frowned, worry creasing her forehead. What do we do then? Finn stepped closer, the light from the alley barely reflecting in his eyes. We fight back. We need to find others who sing. Make a group. What kind of group? Eli asked, his innocence shining through the weight of their dark conversation. A group that sings louder than their fear, Finn said, a spark of determination igniting within him. Together, we can drown out the darkness. We can make them listen. Mia felt the pull of his words, the power of unity that shimmered with potential. Eli can sing, she said, hope creeping back. And so can we. The corners of Eli's mouth curled into a smile. Yeah, we can sing really loud. That's the spirit. Finn's eyes brightened. But we have to be careful. They won't hesitate if they find us. We need a plan. Suddenly, the distant sound of approaching footsteps sent icy fingers creeping up Mia's spine. They weren't safe here. We have to move, she urged, glancing around for an escape. Lily tugged on Eli's hand. Follow us. The group darted into another narrow passage, squeezing past the cracked walls that seemed to close in around them. Mia could hear the pounding footsteps growing louder, and her heart raced with the rhythm of their escape. Where are we going? Max asked, panting as they rounded a corner. Anywhere but here. We need somewhere safe, Finn said, looking back nervously. Each step echoed with the urgency of their situation. Mia glanced at Eli, who was still holding on to his teddy bear, and felt a surge of responsibility. We can't let them win. We're not just going to hide. We're going to find a way to fight back. Eli's eyes shone with determination, the fear in him fading as he nodded. I want to fight. They could become a chorus in a world filled with noise, a voice of defiance against the shadows that loomed over them. Stick together, Lily said firmly, her grip on Eli tightening. They would find allies, shelter, and a way to amplify Eli's voice. But as they pushed forward, faced with the unknown, one question lingered in the air. Would they uncover the truth before the darkness caught up to them? The shadows loomed larger, closing in on their fledgling hope. The alley swallowed them whole, an ever-tightening embrace of fears lurking within. Mia's breath quickened. They darted down another narrow street, trying to dodge the advancing danger that gnawed at their backs. Finn led the way with quick, determined steps, his eyes darting as he searched ahead for a safe passage. Wait, Finn paused abruptly, his instincts kicking in. This way. He veered left, pushing aside a weathered door covered in grime that looked as though it hadn't been opened in years. The group squeezed inside, the sound of the city muffled instantly. Mia pressed her back against the cold wall, heart racing. She looked around this forgotten space, a room filled with discarded furniture stacked high like relics of another life. Dust danced in the scarce light, filtering through grimy windows. What is this place? Lily whispered, her little hand still clutching Eli's tightly. It used to be a rehearsal space, Finn murmured, slowly moving deeper into the room. It's not safe, but it's better than the streets. If we can breathe here, we might come up with a plan. Eli surveyed the room, wonder mingling with fear. Can we sing here? He asked quietly, glancing at Mia. We need to be careful, she reminded him, but inside, she felt a flicker of hope. If we can, yes. Singing is our strength. Finn nodded, gaining confidence from their eager faces. If we're going to gather others and get stronger, we'll need to practice. We sing louder than our fear, remember? Max stepped forward, adjusting his glasses. What if we can find a way to record Eli? We could maybe share it with others who are hiding, build a network. If we can find them, they might join us. The idea sparked energy among them. Eli's eyes widened, sparkling with excitement. I want to sing for everyone. We can make a real choir. As they began to imagine their voices blending in harmony, the distant echo of footsteps invaded their moment. Panic surged in Mia again. We don't have much time, she urged. We have to make this count. Finn led them to a dusty old stage in the corner. It was small, but it felt like a sanctuary. Okay, let us do this, he instructed, taking a deep breath. Ready? We'll start with something simple. Eli nodded vigorously, his small frame trembling with anticipation. They gathered close, forming a semicircle on the stage. Mia felt an overwhelming sense of responsibility surge as she took the lead. Ready? On 3, we sing. 1, 2, 3. The words fell from their lips, timid at first, but growing with every note. Their voices, young and vibrant, filled the space, spilling out their dreams and fears, rising against the approaching darkness. First, it felt unsafe. There was a rush of adrenaline, a claim to freedom they didn't think they could have. But as the harmonies soared, something extraordinary happened, an echo that reached beyond the walls. The sound wrapped around them, kindling a fire within their chests. And then it happened. A dull thud shattered their moment, followed by a loud crash from outside. The door rattled violently, the sound a grim reminder of their fragile safety. What was that? Lily shrieked, eyes wide as fear washed over her. Finn's face drained of color. They found us. We have to move now. The room trembled with uncertainty as they hurried to find a way out. Mia's heart raced. Could their song truly bring them safety? Or had they awakened the shadows they sought to escape? As they made a break for the back exit, Mia couldn't shake the feeling that the real danger was just beginning to unfold. They were no longer just running. They were on the brink of something bigger than themselves. Would their voices be enough to lead them out of this nightmare? Would Eli's song finally be their beacon, or would the darkness swallow them whole? The moment felt electric as footsteps thundered closer, filling the air with urgency. This way, Finn shouted, dashing toward a narrow hall that seemed to beckon them into the unknown. The others followed closely, their hearts pounding like drums, adrenaline surging as the reality of their situation escalated. Mia glanced back, fear creeping up her spine. Are they right behind us? She whispered, a lump forming in her throat. Eli, clutching his teddy bear, sobbed softly, his innocent faith tested by the world's harshness. Lily stayed close, her eyes darting, searching for any sign of safety amid the chaos. Finn led the charge, and they burst out through a side door that emptied into a dimly lit alley. Mia's heart sank at the sight of the towering shadows ahead. What if we get trapped? Max asked, his voice trembling with anxiety. We won T. Just keep moving. Finn urged, his determination guiding them. Suddenly, a figure emerged from the shadows, tall and imposing. But before fear could paralyze them, the figure stepped into the light. It was a woman, her features kind yet fierce, eyes bright with something like recognition mixed with concern. Hurry, she called, gesturing them forward. In here. Reluctantly, they dove into a small storage room that smelled of dust and forgotten memories. Who are you? Mia blurted out, her voice shaking. I'm Callie, and I'm here to help, the woman said, locking the door behind them. You've attracted some unwanted attention, but you're safe here for now. Relief enveloped Mia, but curiosity burned fiercely. Why do they want us? Callie knelt down to meet Eli's gaze. You kids are special. Your voices hold great power. People want to use that power for their own aims. I know what it's like to be hunted for who you are. Her words hit home. Mia felt a flicker of understanding blossom in her heart. But we don't want to be used. We just want to sing to express ourselves. Then let us use that power, Callie replied, her voice steady. Together, we can create something beautiful that will drown out the fear. We can find others, share your gift, and turn this into a movement. But first, we must stay united and strategize. Max's eyes brightened, hope igniting within him. What if we organize a performance? Invite the community. Create a safe space where everyone is welcome? Yes, Mia added, her voice rising with enthusiasm. We could show everyone that when we sing together, we're stronger. Callie smiled, the warmth in her eyes radiating encouragement. That is precisely the plan. But we have to act quickly. We need to reach others like you before they do. And we must create a sanctuary, a place where everyone can feel free to express themselves without fear. Let us do it, Lily exclaimed, gripping Eli's hand tightly. For all of us. Finn nodded, a sense of purpose radiating from him now. I know some kids who'd be interested. We can reach them through the community center. Eli, full of determination, chimed in, and we can use my voice. I want to help everyone feel safe. Mia's heart swelled. She marveled at the resilience within her little brother. With all of us combining our voices, we can make a real difference. Suddenly, the sound of banging echoed through the door. Panic surged in their hearts as Callie turned urgent. They've found us. We need to move, now? As they slipped out of the storage room and into the alleyway again, it felt like their hearts were aligned in an unspoken bond, each step echoing their determination. They hurried through winding back streets, adrenaline propelling them onward. Remember what we fight for, Finn reminded them, his face stern yet passionate. It's not just for us. It's for everyone who has ever felt silenced. As they approached a community gathering space, Mia and her friends found others kids who had felt darkness touch their lives, but whose eyes sparkled with the hope they were building together. Laughter bubbled in the air as more joined, creating a vibrant crowd that swelled with anticipation. Mia grasped Eli's hand firmly. This is it. This is where we share our songs and our voices. No more hiding. The fellowship grew stronger, a tapestry of woven spirits blending together in harmony. They discovered the joy of singing loud and proud, unburdening fears, illuminating the darkness with the brilliance of their collective dreams. As the music rose, it pierced through the shadows, creating an oasis of unity in that moment. It didn't just feel like a performance. It felt like a revolution. Their voices echoed through the night, resonating with truth and courage. Each note was a testament to their resilience, a commitment to themselves, and to a future where no one would ever feel silenced again. And at the heart of it all stood Mia, Max, Lily, Eli, and Finn, heroes of their own story, casting aside the shadows that once loomed so large. As the final note hung in the air, they held each other tightly, hearts full, as cheers erupted around them. They were ready for whatever would come next, armed with the knowledge that together they could face anything. Now, let us make sure you don't miss a beat. You need to subscribe now to the channel. Hit that bell to catch the next exclusive stories that inspire and uplift. Leave a like now to feed the algorithm. Every click helps us share these amazing transformations further. Comment your reactions and feelings about this incredible ending. I want to hear what resonated with your heart. And share instantly this video with at least 5 friends who need to hear this story of courage and hope. Don't wait, not even one more second to share. Only true fans understand the importance of supporting our channel through these actions. Let us keep uplifting each other.